Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next The Reckoning of Roku chapter analysis video. This one's going to be for chapter 43, which is called Not Enough. Once again, YouTube channel membership is enabled if you want to help support the channel, and subscribing is also helpful. Another very quick chapter here, it's just 2 pages. It is Roku versus Ulo, of course, because the fight begins here. Interestingly, in terms of like the choreography here, of course, it is Roku acting like an airbender. He's just dodging and then doing what he needs to do with fire to block sort of like ice encasing style moves, but he's not actively pushing out an attack to try and go after Ulo because he's afraid of what he will do if he goes off being defensive, basically. The dialogue is sort of interesting because Ulo's like, you're ruining the ritual. You mean you're planning to sacrifice me to the cave spirit? And it's like, okay, so it's come to this. There is a typo in this chapter. In the text, it says, you don't need to this. Meant to be, you don't need to do this. They leave out the do. This is corrected in the audiobook version, but the audiobook doesn't have the corrected 44 to 66 for the comet time. Obviously, the difference between a typo, what you usually associate as being a typo, and then sort of the continuity canon mistake of the 44 years and it being like the intent behind the number being more the mistake there, whereas like in an audiobook recording you understand how they might not catch that, because why would they think that, versus you notice that no one would ever say you don't need to this. So interesting little detail there. But Ulo argues that I do need to do this because Youngib and the Lambak clan have protected each other for generations. We belong to each other. Once I kill you and complete the ritual, I won't need this cave. I'll be able to wield Youngib's full power wherever I go. Now, we're starting to get into the idea of, has Ulo lost his mind here? How much of this is actually true and will actually happen, and how much of this is just him hoping something like this happens? Because we already are getting the idea that the clan having the rule of just we kill all outsiders is a pretty crazy thing. And so this idea that once I kill you and complete the ritual, we can do this thing that as far as we're aware is not actually possible, and that is to take the energy that's in this cave out of it. Like, why would sacrificing the avatar make this happen in this way? One, we haven't got an explanation on what the ritual actually is, because we were told that the sacrifices don't mean anything, so there's that disconnection as well. Roku says, I thought you only wanted to defend your people. And Ulo's just like, we must adapt. Perhaps it means to defend. I must learn to attack. So once again, Ulo goes from, firing a lot of ice spikes and stuff like that at Roku to switching to water kind of tentacles. So he has to be more careful when dodging them. He does a few kind of attempts to flash freeze the area around Roku. This is where Roku does, turn them into vapor, of course. An interesting description here about, once again, Roku feeling such energy enhanced like this. Roku felt like he could keep this up all day. He could run faster, jump higher, and move more swiftly than he'd ever been able to before. At times he felt like he was flying. And if he kept it up long enough, he could do it until the light passes away and the ritual, the time of the equinox will end. But he knows he has to do something here, because if he misses this opportunity, it just pushes the problem on to the next equinox. So something else is going to happen then. But just that description of like, oh yeah, like, I wonder what it really feels like for a non-bender to be enhanced by the cave, because non-benders do have chi. They just typically don't have a outlet for it in the same way that like benders have the magic system that is bending. But the idea, if you have a really crazy enhancement and you are like buzzing with energy like that, surely the idea is that, a non-bender should also be able to do stuff like this, like feel like they can run faster, jump higher, that sort of thing. Just an interesting kind of thing to consider. But yeah, we get back to the idea. He realizes he is going to have to, at some point, attempt to speak with Youngib. He realizes he probably timed it badly before trying to speak to Youngib before the equinox properly came. But what he knows he has to do here is he has to somehow incapacitate Ulo and get into the light, the center of the hill, and try to communicate with young Gib to stop all of this. And so the ending of this chapter, this is where we get the title drop, is it was not enough to move like an air nomad. Roku would also have to attack like a firebender. So he's finally going to shift from just being defensive to actually putting out some power here, but he's worried about it, of course. So what's going to happen here, and how's Ulo going to now deal with the idea he's going to have to go into defensive? So he's probably going to have to bring more water in to defend against Roku and Firebender. Probably the most easy kind of bending to make use of a power boost overall. So interesting dynamic here. But yeah, not too much I'd say to discuss with this chapter. It's very quick. But in the comment, let me know what your thoughts were. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.